What substrate should you use for your Neocaridina shrimp? Let's find out. Subscribe to my channel. Hello again, nanotank lovers. I've been meaning to do this video for quite a while. It's just kept slipping my mind. I'm going to be talking about the inert substrate you should use for your Neocaridina shrimp. Now, I've actually never kept Caridina shrimp, so I'm not going to be talking about the active substrates. I've heard, just in case you came here for that, I've heard like ADA Amazonia, Akadama, I think that's what it's called, that it's like bonsai soil, fluval stratum. Those are three really good ones that I've heard quite a bit about. But today I'm going to be talking about more my area of expertise, Neocaridina shrimp, and the inert substrates that you can choose from. So I have a selection of stuff here that I've compiled over the years. We're going to start from worst to best, in my opinion, and there's one I don't have listed here. So obviously the worst substrate is going to be your colorful, what do they call it, fruity pebble substrate, blues, pinks, red, anything not natural. I'm keeping this around because I think I might be able to do something with an aquascape, like a 2 substrate effect. I'm not 100% sure though, but yeah, this is basically just garbage substrate that I haven't quite thrown out yet. On to the next one, we have like large river rocks. These, if your whole bottom was that, I would worry about the detritus buildup in the bottom of the tank because everything would slip down. So like everything would fall through your substrate, and there wouldn't be enough. I don't think there would be quite enough dead spots for the proper anaerobic bacteria, so I think your whole tank would just have issues if you were using gravel this big at the bottom. In this bag, it just gets progressively smaller, and I mean that really gets progressively better. I think the stuff you can see on the other side is actually far more ideal, this very thin stuff. If I was to use this, I'd obviously have to pick it out, which is kind of why I haven't bothered to use it. It also doesn't look the best because it's all different shades. So this bag basically gets progressively from worse to better. If you're in a pinch, this fine, I guess this is kind of medium grain aquarium gravel will do. Next, I got a thing of just, I guess this would be medium to fine aquarium gravel like I just explained. This would be like my last resort if I didn't have one of my top 3. So I'm keeping this around basically just in case I run out of the other sands. I don't think I will. I don't know. This isn't my top choice, but definitely isn't the worst. You can see how fine the gravel is. So, I mean, imagine that's the tank. It's tightly packed enough where you're going to get the anaerobic bacteria. It's not going to let a lot of crap seep down through it. Some people actually prefer this stuff because it's a little bigger than the grains are bigger than what I'm going to show you. So if you sweep your substrate, it won't kick up the sand and potentially get like in your hang-on back filter. Although we should have sponges on them, so that shouldn't be that big of a problem. So then something I don't have laying around anymore, but you can see it in this tank and then in my bowls down here. This is Carib Sea's natural beach sand, I think is what it is. It's the white stuff. It is a little bit overpriced for what you get compared to what I'm about to show you, but you can get it off Amazon. So I mean, if you need things shipped to you, if you can't get to the store, something like that, if you just have a small tank like this I think is the whole 5-pound bag. Did my 5-gallon here. So finally, my two favorite, I'm torn on this. It just depends whether you want white or black sand. If you want white sand, get yourself some pool filter sand. I'm Canadian. I went to Canadian Tire, got myself some pool filter sand. You can get this from most hardware stores, anywhere that sells any pool stuff. Like I don't even know what you have in America or across the world. Any of your hardware stores should have some pool filter sand, or obviously like a pool store will have this. I think this is a 20-pound bag. This cost me $12 compared to the 5-pound bag of the Carib Sea stuff that cost me about the same. 5 pounds, I think it was about 10, maybe $8 or $10. So I get 4 times the amount for not 4 times the price. And then this stuff, this is awesome. I'm going to be making a tank with the black substrate to change it up so that you guys aren't always looking at white substrate when you're looking at my videos. This is Sandblasting sand. I got this from Tractor Supply Co. I believe they're all over North America. I'm not sure about Europe. I mean, you can just look it up and see where you can buy sandblasting sand. Some people are worried, like if you read online, some people are worried about the sandblasting sand being too sharp for their livestock and like potentially damaging, I don't know, cutting them or something. But it's not sharpness, it's hardness that makes this sandblasting sand. So this is just really, really hard sand, like compared to the pool filter sand. So that if I shoot this at a piece of metal with, you know, the paint strips off it, and the sand doesn't just explode. That's what it is. That's the difference. Now these are very, very fine grained sands, so it's going to pack it in really tight. The dwarf hairgrass seems to love the pool filter sand at least, and we're going to try out some of this. So that's your selection of inert substrates. You're basically sand and gravel, and then what's going to rank it from top to bottom is color and coarseness, and then obviously the value. That's what I was trying to think of. The value of it. The lower the price, the more tanks you can do, the bigger tanks you can do, etc. Like that's a 50-pound bag. That's gonna last. Holy, that's gonna last forever. I probably won't even need these, but waste not, want not. Final note on the substrates. For your active substrates, I do know you shouldn't rinse them. You should just put them in and let the dust go around. It'll eventually settle. It's all good stuff you want in your tank. With the inert substrates, a lot of them you don't have to rinse, but it is good to rinse them because the stuff that comes off them is just dirty dust, and it'll settle eventually or whatever, go around. Your water will clear up eventually, but to prevent that in the first place, you give the inert substrates just a really good rinse, especially with something like the sandblasting sand that I mentioned. It's actually got like an oil or a film on it. It's not dangerous to fish or shrimps at all. Like you could set up the tank and then like skim the weird film off. But to prevent that film from even going in the water, just give the blasting sand a really, really good rinse. Pool filter sand, I don't think has any residue. And this Carob Sea natural that you see in this tank, it is pretty dusty if you grab it off Amazon. All right, I hope you guys learned a little bit about the inert substrates you can choose from for your Neocaridina shrimp. Make sure to like the video if you liked the video. Subscribe to my channel for more great nano tank content. And leave a comment below if you have any questions or comments about Neocaridina shrimp, nano tanks, substrate, water conditions, parameters, anything like that. All right, guys. Till next time. What substrate should you use for your Neocaridina? Oh my God, the glare. There's a lot of glare. Now there's less glare. No, there is not. Put down light. Nope. I'll just do this. There's a lot of glare on this tank. Come on. Alright. Something's leaking sand. Is it the pool filter? Where's they at? What the fuck? It's not up there. I should find them first. Oh, you're in there. I'll probably do it on this one. Man, this is a minute I have to cut now.